And Le'Veon is attention-starved and attention-hungry. And James Conner's success and the Pittsburgh Steelers' success without him is bothering Le'Veon, and that's why he's gone to upside-down tweeting and hey, look at me stuff. The Steelers are about to play tonight on Thursday Night Football in a huge game against the Carolina Panthers, and ain't nobody really feeling Le'Veon Bell right now. It's James Conner and what the Steelers and Big Ben and Mike Tomlin are doing. This is just, hey, look at me. You got kids, Marcellus. I know you can recognize this.
I do. And Whitlock, you shouldn't be so proud of being this old without any kids. Why don't you settle down? Get your life in order, man. Get a wife, get you a kid. American dream. Live it, brother.
Yeah,
Let me say this.
You are living the dream.
He's in that vacuum. I don't think it's an attention-starved vacuum, but he's certainly chasing his tail. But what I mean by that is this is a guy, and we've all been through this before, whenever there's a sacrifice to make and there's going to take time for you to realize the dividends of that sacrifice, you got to go through the eye of the storm. Doubt. What decision you made. I went to Columbia, and everybody and their mama and every recruiter said, you're not making it to the NFL if you go to Columbia. And second, third year, despite having success, I had to go through that storm. I wanted to transfer. I wanted to go back to the big schools. I wanted to go through that. And you may look at it from the outside saying I'm an attention star, but really, my mind's playing a little trick on me. I got to make sure I get over this hump because right behind that adversity is the victory. He's just right now realizing, God, I have a decision to make before the 13th of November on a Tuesday. Do I go in? Or do I not get that accrued season? He's also faced with the reality that, yeah, James Conner is out there balling. They don't feel the same impact by me being gone. But I don't think it's attention-seeking. I think this is just a guy who's like, is this working? And he had doubts. And with his doubts and with social media and with a fan base that's continued to criticize you, he's trying to respond to that. But attention-seeking, I didn't get that from him. I just think this is a guy who needs
How about
to persevere.
thirsty?
Perseverance, brother. Persevere through your sacrifice. You'll be all right.
He tweeted upside down. Of course he wants attention. Like, why would you tweet upside down? I had to turn my phone upside down. I had to go find maybe an app to play around with this as well. He wants the attention because it's not on him right now. And the thing about him apologizing for whatever, most people in the sports media are criticizing him because they don't think he'll make that money back up on the back end of his contract. He will get paid this offseason. The Jets will pay him. The Texans, someone will pay him his money. He will get that money this offseason. But people are criticizing him for the idea that he's going to make up this $14 million somehow on the back end of his contract. That's what people are criticizing him for. Now, the fans want him to play, obviously, but I think fans are now realizing, look, we don't need Bell. We have Conner right now. He's crushing it right now. He's receiving well. He's running the ball well. I think if Bell were to come back, too, the Steelers have to dress him, but he should not start. They should find unique ways to use him in the slot, use him in the backfield. Why would, as an offensive lineman who has run with a running back, I would not want to make that change right now. I want to stick with the guy that I know where he's going. He's a different style of runner than Le'Veon Bell. I'm not saying Le'Veon Bell is a bad football player. He's quite the contrary. But why would you put him in right now and take away reps from Conner, who's playing so well? Plus, he's not going to be in football shape, too, which is part of this. But you put him in the slot, man. You do some cool two-back formations with him. He is a huge weapon to use on the field, but just I would not start him at running back.
I mean, we're acting like this is new for Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon is a rapper. He's always on social media. Him and AB, that's who they are. In that locker room, they're the guys that's always got something, got a headline coming out of that locker room. I don't think he's seeking attention for just because Conner's playing well or something like that. He's seeking attention because that's what he does. That's who he is. We want him to be someone completely different just because he's going through this process? No, you're going to get the same Le'Veon Bell. And he'll be there because he'll be a fool not to be there by Tuesday to get that accredited season. I don't know who's advising him, but to me, this has always been the game plan. You know, if I was in his shoes and talking to other agents, the plan was always to wait until the last possible moment, and that is Tuesday, and then show up and let them utilize you as they see fit.
I'm not 100% sure he's going to be there Tuesday. You know, I may be 80%, but I'm not 100% sure.
Wait, if that man don't come Tuesday, whoa. Wow.
Black Rob, huh?
I would have never seen that happen before. A guy turned down a potential year to hit free agency.
Sean Gilbert did it and got paid. It happens.
Remember that.
There's
Sean
precedent.
Gilbert.
Yeah, historian.
I'm not sure. Again, I'll go back to attention-starved, humbled, thirsty. He's had his offensive linemen criticize him publicly and talk about his money publicly, and then go out and back it up, and the offensive line basically is saying to him, no, we'll make James Conner the same star that you were. I think it's tough to walk back in that locker room.
I mean, you can ask anybody in the National Football League, and James Conner is not Le'Veon Bell. He'll never be Le'Veon Bell, period, point blank, period. He's playing amazing football, and he's doing exactly what he needs to do on that team for them to be successful. But let's not get this twisted. No one's going to ever see James Conner play football and mistake him for Le'Veon Bell. If I'm Le'Veon, I'm not tripping because I know I'm getting paid somewhere. Le'Veon's whole beef is what people aren't really understanding. His whole beef was this. I'm not going out here with a franchise tag and getting 400 touches. 400 touches, taking all those hits for you guys to discard me next year. If y'all aren't going to monitor how many touches I get, then I'm not coming. Cool. Him not coming till week 10 takes a lot of those touches away from him. And then people say, or fans say, well, where's your allegiance to this team? Well, my allegiance is the length of my contract. I'm not tied to a team and going to go out there and sacrifice my body to a team that's going to just get rid of me after the year. I mean, and if anybody in that locker room can't understand that, then wait till they're in that situation. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. They always want to talk about the situation. But when they're in that situation, it's time for them to get their money. There's a lot of people who've never been in that situation, and so they don't know how to approach it.
Right.
But having been in that situation before, man, them dudes know not to talk about nobody money in that locker room. And when you do, then don't say nothing to me. Then you basically...
I talked about this in week 1 when it happened. The Steelers' offensive line cheered Le'Veon Bell on this entire offseason. They posted on social media. They spoke publicly about it. They were his biggest cheer. They wanted him to get paid. He told them he'd be there. They came out publicly and went out of their way to say Le'Veon Bell will be here. He did not show up. They were upset about it. They went and talked about him showing up as well. Part of this idea about the money is interesting because he couldn't, for this season alone, he couldn't get any more money, right? There's a weird quirk where they could have given him a couple more million, but they weren't going to give him more money. So the idea that he's talking about their money now, they really were not, because we know Le'Veon Bell is worried about the future. But my question is this. It's very interesting to me that we say the Steelers' offensive line should cheer for Bell to hold out to play for someone else next year. When we know this year is a league-to-league year. I mean, excuse me, a year-to-year business. So it's odd to me to say that the Steelers' offensive line should come out and say, you know what, Le'Veon Bell, you rest and go play for the Jets next year. We don't really want you to play this year. They wanted him to play this year to help them win a Super Bowl, as Ramon Foster said about week 3 or 4. He said, look, if we win a Super Bowl, we all get paid. We know that. We want you to come back and play for us because we want to win. And we know in this year alone, you cannot get any more money.
Jeff.
It's hard to think about the future if you're currently in the season. I get if it's the offseason and training camp, but that's an odd thing to say.
Excuse me. What happens when he goes out there and breaks his leg or tears his ACL? What happens then?
He could do
Are
that
those old linemen?
He could do that the first rep.
You're absolutely
when he comes
right.
in.
But he's going to have a little bit of security.
I understand.
Or he's going to limit that exposure by not coming in until week 10. He's limited the first 10 weeks. He's limited the preseason as far as getting those hits on his body. And so, yeah, I agree with you to an extent. But at the end of the day, Le'Veon is his own corporation, his own company. And I just disagree with the way those old linemen in that locker room handled it, because I felt like if the shoe was on the other foot when other guys have kind of been through similar situations, not necessarily in Pittsburgh, but just in other places, I've never seen it done that way. And that's kind of why everybody starts saying, wow, is Mike Tomlin losing these guys? Now they're back saying, oh, Mike Tomlin's a great coach. He was able to keep these guys in line.